Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Pete's CD and LP World. Today we're going to go over another Give It a Spin, and today we're going to do the Cars 1987 final album, Door to Door. This album came out 3 years after their highly successful album, Heartbeat City. It was a huge MTV hit, had a few videos from the album that actually won awards, and actually had a couple of big hits, including Drive, which was sung by Benjamin Orr. So 3 years later, they released this album, Door to Door. And at the time, I believe they had one video for the song You Are the Girl. And from what I remember, it wasn't a big MTV hit. I vaguely remember it being on, and actually never heard anything about a tour or any other singles from this album, so they sort of just faded away. I completely forgot about this album. I was a pretty big Cars fan. I'm familiar with their whole catalog, and really am a big fan of Elliot Easton because I play guitar as well. So a couple months ago, I saw this at a yard sale. It had the shrink on it, and the album was like mint, so I figured I'd pick it up. So the opening track on side one, Leave or Stay, pretty good opener. Wouldn't say it's single material, but it sets the tone for the album. The second song is You Are the Girl, which was the single and video from this album. I don't believe it was a big hit. I don't remember the album or the video being played that long. In fact, the cover reminds me of the video. It was just little clips of the guys like this. It wasn't even like a video. It was very abstract. Next song, Double Trouble, is kind of a slow mid-tempo song sung by Benjamin. Again, not bad, not great. Next two songs, Fine Line, Everything You Say, sort of ballady, but just not very great. And that's the main problem with this album. It reminds me of Rick Ocasek or Ocasek's 80s solo albums. And it's funny because every song on here is written by Rick, and there's one song co-written by Greg Hawkes, the keyboard player. The last song on the album is Ta Ta Wayo Wayo, which supposedly dates back to their first album, or around that period. It's a pretty good rocker, but you could see why it was never put on an album before. It's sort of just a throwaway track, nothing great. So, again, the first side is only a couple highlights. You Are the Girl, the actual single, wasn't even that great of a song either. It was sort of a mid-tempo pop song, really no quirkiness or bite that the Cars usually have. Moving on to the second side, Strap Me In, another slow rocker. Nothing spectacular about that. And then we have two more ballads in a row, Coming Up You and Wound Up on You. Again, these are just very boring ballads that would probably be on Rick's solo album. The next song, Go Away, I believe is sung by Greg. It doesn't sound like Benjamin or Rick. That's an okay song. Again, not single material, nothing memorable. Then we get to the last song, Door to Door, which is almost outright hard rock, which is very unlike the Cars. It's a pretty good song. I couldn't see it being a single either, but again, it's okay. So overall, this album is half good, half eh. And that's the overall feeling I get from this album is just eh. So out of 5 stars, I'd probably give this about 2.5 stars. And the main problem to me with the album is, one, the production is very 80s, very 1987 when this came out. I know the Cars, even before this, had used drum machines, but this is very obvious drum machines to the point where I'm not even sure how much of it wasn't pre-programmed or anything. And I'm also disappointed with the guitar from Elliot Easton. Usually he has very memorable solos and little quirky licks here and there, but he doesn't have any of that here. It just seems like when the time came to record his solo, he just winged it and went for something based off the melody, which most guitar players do. And overall, I think this album was just a rush job to get their contract fulfilled. I would guess. I got it for a couple bucks. If you see it for that price, it's probably a good pickup, or you just want to complete the Cars catalog. Another thing about this too is, since the album was such good condition, I thought it would sound good, but it really does not. I don't know if it's the pressing or just at this point in time. I think a lot of albums that once the CD age came, the albums, LPs of that didn't sound great, and I think that suffers from that. So along with everything else, the album itself doesn't really sound that good, which is a kind of a problem for me. I would say you would think at this point in '87 LPs would still sound good, but like I said, it could just be the pressing. This is a Columbia House pressing. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Maybe I'll pick up another copy of this so I see it and compare. But if you have this album, let me know what you think. Also, if you like these videos, please subscribe. I'm new at this. I think this is my 10th video. So if you have any suggestions or have any comments about this album, just let me know. And I'll probably have another video up tomorrow. Thank you.